Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Govberg, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona, reference 116509. You can see this full bracelet, white gold, Rolex Daytona, and buy it on our website, govbergwatches.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you enjoy these videos, please download our app, Govberg On Time, for the latest news, views, and reviews of luxury watches with current multimedia features. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this is the classical post-1988 40mm self-winding Daytona profile. Now it has been enhanced in one significant respect entering the 2000s, and that by the addition of solid end links to the bracelet as well as solid center links. It is a very hefty watch on the wrist, but the real ergonomic impact, I should say, of the solid end links is that the outer cropping horns on each side expand the lug-to-lug measurement, effectively the span across the wrist, to a robust 52 millimeters from approximately 47.548. So the watch has a large stance in spite of a relatively conventional 40 millimeter measurement. It's also important to note that all of the Rolex Oyster cases wear more or less like cushion cases, so they're not so much round watches as they are oblong, and they take up a tremendous amount of wrist real estate for their size. Happily, the watch is quite slim, 12 millimeters, and you can see that there's a stepped sapphire as well as a sloped tachymetric scale bezel, so it is easy to slip this one underneath a dress cuff, and that's a good thing because this combination of white gold, a matte black dial, and applied white gold Arabic numerals is one of the more formal and dress-appropriate Daytona variants. That's not to say it can't mix it up, it can. 100-meter water resistance and extensively shock protected. This is a rugged sports watch at heart. Now, the bracelet's interesting because of those qualitative improvements that I mentioned earlier. The watch has incredible heft in the hand, feeling as hefty as some platinum Rolex models from just a generation ago, simply because you are getting so much more gold with solid links, solid end links, and the overall impression on the wrist is both beautiful and massive. Now, I should mention that the watch, being a early Z series, so late 2006, early 2007, features the pre-M series clasp. The clasp is a little bit different than what came after. It features a more conventional clamshell closure, as well as a different interior profile to the swing arm, as well as the clasp body. However, it does continue to use the current Easy Link system, so that feature, which allows you to take in or take out 2.5 millimeters for a total of 5 millimeters of inward or outward adjustment, that's included on this older style clasp, which is in outstanding condition and still very crisp to close and open. Now, it's important to note too that Rolex makes its own white gold, and when you're buying this much white gold, it's nice to know that the alloy is homogeneous, which is to say, if you scratch it, if you scuff it, if you chip it or nick it, you're going to see more white gold of the same color underneath. This is not the rhodium plated variety, which I'm sorry to say is still used even in the highest reaches of high horology by other noted Geneva manufacturers that shall remain nameless. So here you're getting Rolex's own gold executed to a much higher standard than others will, and that integrity, that Rolex in-house know-how really does keep this watch looking young over time. No need to worry about scratching through a yellow gold or milky yellow gold pseudo white gold base. Now, it's also important to note, since we're looking at the tachymetric scale and talking about the gold content, that this one has worn a little bit in the course of conventional wear and use, so a little bit of the tachymetric lacquer fill-in has been removed, but the gold content, the actual physical integrity and mass of the tack remains completely intact. Now, it's also important to mention that this is one of the sportiest and most remarkable Rolex dials of modern times. It's almost as though it has a little bit of an air of a 1960s Paul Newman exotic dial because it has the combination of black, white, and red accents. Now, where this one differs from those is, of course, the dominance of the applied white gold Arabic numerals and also the preponderance of red. It's not used as an occasional accent here, as it features on the minutes and seconds track outboard, each of the sub-registers, all of the chronograph hands, and the constant seconds hand at 6 o'clock. So this is actually quite a good deal of color for a Rolex Daytona dial. Now, it's also a wonderfully versatile one because anytime you have a white metal case and a black dial, you've got a watch that's equally at home with long sleeves or short. You can wear it black tie, you can also wear it in the pool if you want, because with 100-meter water resistance, screw-down crown and pushers, this is a sports watch through and through. It's also important to note that the watch features Rolex's in-house caliber 4130. Now, of course, behind the solid white gold caseback, you're not going to see it, but it's a 44 jewel in-house vertical clutch column wheel selected chronograph. With a 3-day power reserve, it also features hacking seconds, so pull the crown, stop the balance, precisely synchronized to a known accurate reference time. It has a full balance bridge, unlike the zenith movement that preceded it. Still free-sprung with a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring, the Z series, such as this one, was also the introduction of the Parachrome Blue hairspring for even greater anti-magnetic capabilities to reinforce the positional deviation resistance of the underlying Breguet overcoil design of the hairspring. Moreover, it's important to note that the watch is, as all Daytonas have been since 1988, a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, so it is exceedingly accurate. And of course, with Rolex's smooth bidirectional winding system, you can barely hear or even feel the rotor. It is that refined. You can see this exceptionally versatile and unusual combination of red, white, and black in a matte dial against a white gold case and bracelet. The reference 116509, and purchase it on our website govbergwatches.com.